let's cast some Dota 2. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We've got NiP versus Alliance. It is myself, ODPixel. I'm going to be here, of course, with my two experts, Shane and Lumi, and we're ready to get ourselves into this game. As Shiva said, she wanted to know what we thought about the drafts. Guys, what do we reckon about the two lineups?
I favour NiP's lineup heavily. I really just love Legion Commander in general. I think the hero just picks off people like Broodmother, Queen of Pain. It just has so much lockdown. And you have Dazzle to back it up, so you can kind of guarantee a few duels. I think the mid lane matchup should be interesting, though.
Oh, and you're lucky that you got to do the introduction. I was going to say it's Lumi plus 2 dead weights, but you know.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Come
here we
on,
go.
a little bit early
Here
for
we
the
go.
shots, Lumi. We've got a whole series to work together on. Come on.
All right, so I actually like Alliance's lane much more. I'm with Purge when he says, you know, you can't mess up a tri-stun lane. And it's a 3-on-3, so these stuns are going to be controlling the laning stage very well. But another big point in contention is this advantageous matchup for NiP on the bottom lane.
Okay.
LC versus the Broodmother. It's historically a very tough lane for the Brood. At the same time, though, we saw Mag at ESL. Like, it didn't matter what you threw at the Brood. Brood always seems to have the answer. And the answer right now is actually leveling every passive and just right-click the LC.
Okay. And in terms of kind of dealing with the lane, do you reckon we'll see some kind of support rotations coming down to help the Brood, or will Alliance just kind of say, we'll leave Bulldog there to get the farm and we'll focus more heavily on kind of the mid lane and the top lane in terms of securing farm for their cause?
I think we're going to see very little rotation, apart from stacking the jungle. Most of these, at least Brood, should be fine on her own. She's really not going to die unless NiP rotates the support. And of course, the mid matchup, it is a Queen of Pain advantage matchup for
Do you
S4.
think?
You reckon?
I think Limp has had a good start, so I think it's actually the other way around. I think Limp's going to farm up very quickly. He's just going to nuke down the waves. It's going to be hard to deal with.
He does have the early key CS that Shadow Fiend needs. We'll see. I mean, S4, he's going to find a haster in a minute 2 or something, right? Like, it's pretty much guaranteed.
Limp going top rune, though. I think rune control is very important, and we see Hanskin actually rotating to help out Limp secure the bounty rune.
Guess what rune's on the bottom right now? I'm just saying,
yeah.
like, it's destined.
You couldn't even write this, so that's bang on indeed. And I think, as you were saying as well, it does depend how the mid goes, because we saw earlier, I think it was what, Miracle versus Farta, SF versus the Quap, and he ended up kind of doubling the CS kind of towards the mid game in the lane. It was that point, you know, when the Razors are at a certain level 3, you're able to clear down the waves, and it makes it a lot harder for the Quap to try and keep up in terms of farm. Bottom lane so far, Bulldog's fighting quite a bit, 11 for 2 against 9 for 2, so he's certainly not feeling the pressure of the LC too much at this point.
Yeah. I think the key difference between the two teams right now is like the carry of NiP is a range hero on the top lane, and he's getting CS. Whereas the Wraith King is sitting relatively far behind, trying to last it on melee range. So you do see the CS disparity on the top lane between the two cores.
Yeah, Wraith King doesn't really deal well with the aggression at all. Like, he's one of them heroes that, late game, he loves aggression, but at the start of the game, he's very weak. You know, if you're the one being the aggressor, it's actually fine, but when you're under this pressure, it's tough. What do you think about carry Leshrac against Wraith King, Lumi?
It doesn't make sense in the sense that, you know, Wraith King loves soaking up the first life of damage and then kind of goes back on you. At the same time, I feel like NiP have so many ways to save that Leshrac, if he has some mana items like a Bloodstone or a Yield Scepter, he is going to just sit there and post Nova the whole team fight. I mean, you have things like Snowball, you have a Yield Scepter for himself, you have the LC press the attack, you have the Grave, you have a mech from the Shadow Fiend. So there's just so many defensive tools for the Leshrac that it feels like it doesn't matter what carry he's up against. It doesn't matter if it's Wraith King or, you know, Broodmother.
Ooh, his skill build, did you see this?
And what's he going for?
Max Diabolic Edict.
Okay. I mean, people have talked about ever since the change, you know, this is maybe another kind of way that you can look to build him. I think before, kind of, he had that very lane-dominating skill set with the stun and the lightning. Some people used to skill him like this. Ooh. Snowball onto S4, yeah, it's got a blink. They're just going to trade a few hits here with Hanskin. The range is coming through. Whoa!
Oh my
that
Lord.
blink, literally just in time. Limp won't be able to chase it down with a haste rune, because in fact it is the shards that blocked him off there. So a little bit of an unfortunate play there from the Tusk, because he might have got that kill onto the Quap if he could get past them.
You know, if you're going to go Lightning build in 6.85, this should be the situation you go for, right? You're up against a Tri-Link where the Lightnings should at least bounce on a couple of heroes. And of course, your Edict is not going to be doing damage as it's soaked up by the lane creeps and 3 heroes. But it is very interesting. As of late, we saw support Leshracs going for the Edict build and going for a lot of early tower aggression, so maybe Era is building for that in mind. It's not as good for the laning stage, but it'll be much better in a couple of minutes.
Bottom lane is actually the most interesting for me. when I'm looking at this Brood versus Legion Commander, because as Lumi said, it should be favorable, but not if Admiral Bulldog goes this max incapacity.
Zero spider build.
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing it really well.
You just harass, and the debuff actually lasts quite a long time, and it makes your life really difficult as Legion Commander to even trade it.
Just miss. Yeah.
And I like this as well. He's got a point in the ult. Obviously, when we see them go for the spider build, it's unlikely to get the ult at 6.
Be careful. Okay.
He's got to get himself out. I mean, this
lane 1.
This is a pretty much as bad as the lane could go here for NiP on the bottom lane, because this Legion is not having a great time. Did find the levels. I mean, at this point, can you return to the lane, or do you have to maybe even look to the jungle here and maybe send someone else down, or at least get some kind of backup to deal with this spider, because Bulldog's getting out of control.
Well, it seems like he's rotating up top now, and there is enough initiation for him to start up with the duel. The question is, can they finish the duel? Again, on the line side, you have triple stuns. Like, you can't just duel somebody and you're not moving or hitting anybody, right? So we'll see how it goes. Ake, does he have the Edict, or does he have the... No, he has the Voodoo Restoration, which makes sense because they are in a very defensive position. So this duel should have a fairly low % chance of working out, but we'll see how it plays out.
Okay. I mean, in terms of the mid lane, we haven't really talked around it for a bit, but it's pretty even there still. Co-op on 21 CS, 24 here for the SF. So as we see, SF still having a pretty good time.
They want.
Yeah, look at Hansken. He really wants to find someone here. He's got level 2. He's got the shards and the snowball. See if he can lead in. He's now got Jonas and Fan standing next to him, ready to look for a duel. Are they going to go for a hit? Load all throughout the stone. Get juked out with the snowball. Straight in now with the Raid King. The heal is there from Ake. They're going to try and walk this one off. The bounces as well, holding back NiP. But here come the shards. They'll catch out Ake and they'll try and move in. Look for the raises. The duel straight up onto Ake. That's your first blood. Limp gets the kill onto Ake. They look for miners as well. And a double kill for Limp as the raises come through. And this man is another haste room. We talked about S4 being the king of the haste, but he's already had 2 so far in a 6-minute game.
Limp 2, S4 0. Like, so far it's... I mean, as big of a lead that Broodmother had on the bottom lane, forcing a TP away, that already erased it. Even if NiP didn't get those 2 kills, I feel like Leshrac outlasting the Wraith King up top is already big enough lead for them. So now NiP, huge ahead. S4, is he going to die here? Sonic Wave, is it going to be no?
The dagger is going to kill him.
Oh, is it? Nah, he's...
Deny.
All right.
Nice TP from Hansken.
Yeah, very nice.
Really nice.
That's pretty bad for the Queen of Pain. I mean, that ultimate has such long cooldown. You just need to get a kill every time you use that early on.
So this bottom lane, it's going to be very tough for Jonas to even come back. Like, he doesn't have a TP scroll. He doesn't have a TP scroll.
He's in a lot of trouble there. Bulldog's just going to chop him down. He needed that Dazzle rotation. I mean, how do they deal with the Spider at this point? Do they need to send someone like the SF down here? I mean, surely we've got to see a rotation maybe from the Tusk at least to try and catch out Bulldog, because you've got to stop this man before he gets too scary.
I think you need to kill the tier 1 top with Era and then rotate the Leshrac down with the Jewel. I think that's the way you do it. Because like, obviously Jonas isn't actually going to do any damage with his right clicks because of the incapacitating bite. So you need like physical or magical damage, maybe Dazzle as well. You need to burst him down. I
think you could leave the Broodmother alone for a bit because of his skill build. He's only got 1 point in Spider, right? He's not threatening your T1 tower anytime soon. So I think you go with Shane's plan, where you just go take the T1 top, maybe even take the T1 mid. You do have a max Edict build, so take advantage of that situation. And then once Admiral Bulldog has a couple of points in Spiderling, you say, all right, now we rotate our heroes, now we defend our T1. Because right now he's just a glorified melee creep on the bottom lane, hitting hard, but he's not hitting your tower.
They sent Limp down with a sentry, actually.
I like this.
They have the Jewel up, they have a Dust on Jonas.
He's a bit speedy. Though. He's got the phase boots build, hasn't he? Yeah, phase on this Broodmother, so it's going to be very hard to catch out, pretty much without having either, as you said, Lumi the Lesh, or sending Hansken down on the Tusk. So you've got some kind of control to at least allow the Legion to get in range for the duel.
I feel like NiP is just wasting time on the bottom. Any second that they're not killing Admiral Bulldog, Bulldog's just winning the engagement for the team. Again, he's not threatening anything down here.
This also creates so much space for S4 as well, who's just completely alone mid lane, just farming away.
And Wraith King finally getting some resemblance of a CS. Although with that said, he's only got 25.
What items do you go on Wraith King?
I think Blink, to give him a way to initiate, is a strong possibility.
Bottom lane.
Okay, Limp going in with the ult, but it's just not enough. Bulldog got a bit of the lifesteal off, and he was able to walk it off with that HP regen from the webs. I mean, they really need to commit more than just that. It's these kind of half-hearted attempts that's just wasting time for NiP, and Bulldog's winning.
The problem is the strength of this phase boot build. Even if someone comes into the lane, because they don't have any instant blink, the only thing they can do is a Tusk snowball.
Oh, Bulldog trying to man up with him. He's got the backup. Loader and Ake coming in as well. Limp in a lot of trouble as the bounces hit back onto the SF, and Loader will find the kill. And that's a big rotation. We're talking about the fact that Loda's farm wasn't the best so far, but with kills like that, he's going to keep himself high at the board in terms of net worth. And yeah, as you said, at the same time, a second kill for Alliance, getting themselves to 2-2 on the board now.
Very efficient play by S4. As soon as the Sonic Wave came off cooldown, he's like, all right, let's go again. Found a kill on LC. Top lane, though, My Nuts in a lot of trouble as he's juking in the trees, but he's going to get exposed. Yeah,
Era's going to go looking for him. My Nuts is doing some nice deforestating here. Nice. Are they going to give up on him?
Yeah,
I think he's fine.
They thought he TP'd maybe.
Yeah, My Nuts, Master of the Woods here, hiding very well under the trees. All right, Limp is back in the mid lane. I feel like a lot of the laning momentum that NiP has really been taken away by Alliance.
To get Loda, but there is a Bulldog here. You can't fight this Jonas and fan. You're going to be in so much trouble. Straight in. Here comes the Spider. The TPs now do come in.
They'll back it off.
Yeah.
It's very low risk for Alliance to make these plays. And I feel like NiP has been really outplayed for the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think it's just the issue that they wanted to have this kind of solo lane situation down there, but you really can't send one hero down there on his own now. You're going to need to have at least two, otherwise you're losing them to the Spider.
All right, so what is Wraith King going for? Can we see how much gold he's saving up? He's got 800.
800.
He really likes the armlet build as well for Loda. And there's always the good old Midas, right? So
yeah, I think Armlet's pretty good in this game.
Oh, S4's got a DD and Seal Kid. He's got the Shallow Grave, but there's 3 heroes on the side of Alliance moving in. Now coming out the TPs. Era's turned up. And Bulldog's got to get himself back out. Era's trying to move in, looking for a stun, but he's actually picked up by the Snowball. Straight in onto Bulldog. He's chasing him down, but Bulldog doesn't get connected by the stun for the Snowball. He's going to be able to ward this one off. Ake turns around, throws around and casts to hold Era back. And we've also got Miners coming in as well on the lean. It's going to be a straight TP out from Ake. He is going to get out. They've got nothing to cancel it in time. Couldn't quite get in range of the duel. S4, he's got a TP straight out in the tree line. So Alliance looking for a bit of funny business there. They don't get anything, but they don't lose anything either.
Admiral Bulldog's positioning there, he walked like just to the trees, stopped for a second, and waited for the snowball to finish, so that they were all on the other side of the trees, and he was still dusted, but he got away because of that. It was a very, very nice play. Can you get to the 9 mil?
Oh, who's going to get it? S4? Is he going to go in? Who is he? Oh, nope.
No,
a little bit misdive and Limp. Okay. We'll get the deny. Yeah. A little bit early there from S4.
S4 doesn't have the base advantage, or base attack advantage, but it's fine.
Yeah. DD run out as well, just before he went for it.
Looks like Loda has bought an item. Very curious what's on Flying the Courier. Looks like it's a recipe for Midas.
Oh, Midas, Wraith King. What do you reckon about this one, Shane?
I'm not too sure about it, because I honestly think because of the build on Leshrac, the Max Edict, when they get a mech on Shadow Fiend, they're just going to group up and push towers. And I don't think the Midas is going to bring too much. Like, S4 can deal with a bit of the early aggression, you know.
Like right now, they're coming at you.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. It's a lot on S4 in this game, because Loda's gone super greed.
Okay, let's suppose that he doesn't have the Midas recipe, but he has a blink. Would that, I mean, he could go in and initiate, but is that what you really want to do?
I think Era has 600 HP with his treads on agility, you know, like he's very, very weak. You have a lot of burst damage, so if you can just combo up with Queen of Pain, you can blow him up. That's a
very important point, but seems like NiP is not stopping right now.
No.
They're saying, I see you got a Midas recipe, man. Let's go.
S4 has got the Sonic Wave back off cooldown, so they may want to look to try and fight this on the defense Alliance. But Alliance, they're looking for the trade. They'll get the tier 1 down bottom, and it looks like NiP won't be able to get the tier 2 mid as of yet. They're backing themselves up. Pings are coming out into the top lane. They might see if they can try and catch out Loda. They've noticed that he has started to build into that Midas, so they know it's a little bit of a vulnerability
now.
He
TP.
And they have a nice ward here. Giving
if he dies twice here, that would be so terrible.
There we go, Snowball in. He's going to get the stun straight in onto Loda. They'll trap him up with the shards here. The TP reactions are coming out. Can they save it? Lovely Sonic Wave onto 3 of them. Blink 4 with a scream as well. That's going to be a Legion taken down. Era's trying to turn this one, but
how's he
alive? Double kill for S4.
How's he alive?
Loda's going to live. He's not even had to use his reincarnate, and S4, he's not done. He moves in for Seal Kid. Seal Kid will look for the TP out. They can't quite cancel it in time. He's going to be able to escape. But nonetheless, some fantastic rotation there from Alliance to save Loda and get 2 kills off the back of it.
All of that greed for Loda has just been rewarded.
Yeah. That was insane. That TP reaction from S4, and then having the level 2 Sonic Wave up just in time for that as well.
Okay, Bulldog, what do you reckon about the build? It looks like he's going to go for the early Orchid, and he's going to have a pretty decent time as well with the first Oblivion stuff done.
It's amazing against Dazzle, Tusk, and Leshrac. It's like, but Legion Commander, of course, can remove it, but I think it's very good to, you know, someone with solo TPs to try and push you back. You can just solo kill them if you play correctly.
Yeah, it's just a very standard build. I personally would have thought that maybe a BKB would have been necessary against Leshrac. It depends how he plays it, right? If he joins a fight to defend his towers. He definitely would like a BKB, but I think going for the Orchid, he wants to play a lot more to himself and farming in the jungle and looking for the pickoff, like you said.
He needs to put the pressure on the Radiant jungle, try and keep Ninjas in Pajamas, dealing
he's
with
doing
him.
exactly that right now.
And I think that's the reason why Loda went.
Go for it, Minus. Oh, tried to go for a light strike out of Invis there. Was waiting to have the mana for the combo, but didn't hit the stun. Maybe if he didn't, Bulldog could have came over. They could have found it. But
I think that's the reason why Loda went Midas as well, because he has faith in Bulldogs.
Yes, to just pressure elsewhere.
Exactly,
There's going to be space for Loda. If Alliance take this late, I mean, there is the SF to worry about. SF got a pretty decent timing on the mech. You know, he's got that one complete. He's going to be able to start working on his next item. So I still think Limp is quite a big issue here for the side of Alliance. But as we saw on the top lane, NiP going a little bit too aggressive. I feel like they've got to kind of calm it down themselves and be a little bit more selective about the fights that they pick. And well, they are smoked up here. I don't think they're going to find anything. Maybe we're hoping to see if they can find Bulldog in their own jungle, but he's going to be towards the bottom lane with the rest of his team. So NiP won't find anything here with this rotation.
You've mentioned that the way that Bulldog's playing, he's also creating space for the Lina to get some farm. Earlier, oh, smoke's gonna get broken here. Lina was actually picking up a ton of CS on the bottom. I imagine she's a very important part of the team, as when that push comes, Dragon Slave is one of their most reliable way to push the back creep waves.
It's very true. And S4 has the Sonic Wave just off cooldown now. Let's see how he uses it.
Is he level 11 as well? Isn't he? Yeah, level 11. And yeah, so the double Orchids coming out from Alliance. So I mean, you talked about the fact, I mean, you know, Legion can purge it, but at the end of the day, if you silence the Legion, Dazzle gets silenced as well. What are you going to do now, Legion Commander?
Bottom lane.
Yeah, looks like they'll be able to get a free tower here. Alliance won't want to do anything about this Tier 1. I'm sure they'll have something to say about the Tier 2, though, if the push continues. And it looks like NiP, they want to look for something more. The question is, can Alliance defend this, or do they look for the trades?
If S4 TP's back, he'll have Orchid. And they can come in with, like...
Awesome. Is he going to look for the chop through in the duel? Yeah. Here we go. He's going to come through the trees.
My God.
Okay.
This is a Spanish Inquisition of duels right here. You just don't expect this.
Oh. And let's watch out. Come on. Oh, Loda? No, Loda's got the reincarnate.
I don't think you want to duel him.
No. But this is cool. They can get the Tier 2. And Alliance, I think they're aware that there's almost certainly people hiding in the trees. I'm sure they'll know that Tusk is going to be looking for some funky business. Minus is kind of solo taking down the Tier 2 mid, though. He's already done half the health of it.
I mean, they get a Tier 1 out of top lane as well, so it's not too bad. Is Minus going to get picked off here?
Bulldog's turned up as well. Looks like they'll just retreat now with TP reactions coming back from NiP. But yeah, as we said, NiP get a Tier 2, Alliance get a Tier 1, and they also get half the Tier 2 in the mid lane. So still pretty close. I mean, 17 minutes in, we've only seen 6 kills in this game. It's all about the push and seeming to be avoiding each other as well, both the teams.
Alliance are playing this really well, though. It reminds me of their old playstyle, you know, just split up, farm the jungle, farm the lanes, and like allow them to push the Tier 2 bottom. But they realize that the high ground is too difficult to crack at the moment, with the Queen of Pain being extremely farmed.
Yeah, and I think Alliance, with their item being picked up, they're ready to fight. You talked about the Queen of Pain Orchid being finished. Wraith King's going to pick up a Blink, I imagine, next. And of course, Bulldog's also going to pick up his Orchid very... Okay.
He's very close, isn't he? He's like just 100 off the recipe or something ridiculous.
Yeah. So all of these key items are being picked up on Alliance. I think they're looking to defend that mid Tier 2 with their lives.
Really? They want to fight, you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're picking up fighting items, right? Orchid, Blink, you don't pick up these items to farm.
Yeah, with the Blink, yeah, definitely.
Talking about wanting to fight, though, NiP, they are smoked up. The pings are coming out to Roshan. It looks like they want to try and check around the pit first before going in. They'd love to find Loda. He's come a little bit far down the lane. The Blink is nice. He'll be able to get himself back to safety next to his good old buddy, Ake. And Bulldog just hiding in the tree line here. Looks like Alliance are just happy avoiding the fight once more in the mid lane. Minus is picking up a bit of farm. In terms of levels, he's doing pretty well on the Lina now, halfway through level 8. So we're still going to watch out for him because we haven't really seen a Laguna Blade yet, but that's a big factor in these fights, especially with heroes like Limp. I mean, he's got 1,300 health at the moment. He is, of course, I'd imagine, is it going to be the BKB coming out, or do you feel he can afford to go for the S and Y before getting the BKB on the SF?
Well, Era loves S and Y. Yeah. Like, it's actually his favorite item, so he might actually just go for it for that regard. But looks like LC might have to TP out once again. Meanwhile, in the river, Limp gets caught out by 4 of Alliance. Can it get a little bit more here? Alliance will blink aggressively forward.
He wanted to do the Sonic, but he was holding on. He was holding on. Here comes Bulldog, starting to chip away at Hanskin. We'll get a snowball that. They've silenced up Sealkid. There will be no Shallow Grave. The double Sonic Wave coming out, hitting 2. Bulldog should be able to finish off Hanskin with the help of his team. They'll get both of the heroes here in the mid lane. And it's just Jonas and Fan and Era that have to back up to the base. And beautiful play there from Alliance. The silence was down the Dazzle, the Sonic Wave hitting 2 of them, and Bulldog just sitting on the sidelines, chomping away at the heroes.
Smart usage of the Orchid. Orchid hit
the Dazzle.
The Dazzle, so no Grave was coming out, and then they went for the Tusk Guard. Well played.
This is insane. The Alliance are just playing so tightly.
I mean, I believe this is a very non-sarcastic use of Alliance's back. Like, this is high-level Dota.
Yeah,
this is really well played.
I really like the way they focus the farm on Minuts as well. They give him so much space, and you saw the Laguna Blade doing so much work in that last fight.
Yeah, what is he going for here?
Does he just get the Yules here?
I think Yules Aghanims is the standard enough.
I mean, it's the great thing about the Yules as well. We've already talked about how key the silence is on certain heroes on NiP. If you've got a Yules as well, you can just take a third hero essentially out of the fight for a couple of seconds, and that could be huge if it is someone like the Dazzle or the Legion who might look to save someone with press the attack.
We've been seeing a lot of mech on the Lina as well, if she would like to take a more supportive route. I'm not sure exactly what Witch Doctor has at this point. Let's see if we could kind of check over to the other support. It looks like he's got nothing, so Force Staff would not be bad at all as well. I think any kind of supportive item you want to pick up for the team is going to be great.
Well, NiP not to be deterred by the recent fights. They're going to get themselves straight back in there. Look for the push. The weave's laid down, so they'll start to tick up the armor, make it a little bit harder for Alliance to fight into. They'll find the tier 2 here in the mid lane. It's only the tier 2 at the top remaining. They have got the creep wave on this, the dire side of the map, so they may just look to push that lane out, get themselves another tower, a little bit more money in the bank, and at the moment, just keep up the map control. Bulldog's getting a lot of free reign down here on the bottom lane. Now 900 on top of the Orchid. I guess the question is now, what does he go for? Lumi, you mentioned the BKB earlier.
Yeah,
Do you think he's still thinking about that?
BKB. Mid lane.
Oh, Loda straight in, but the snowball's there. Helping out Lim. They'll try and set it around. They've already bursted down Witch Doctor. S4 will have to blink himself out. Splitter's been laid down. The Laguna coming out with the mechs there. The Shallow Grave onto Lim. He'll turn around as a Loda, but Loda's got reincarnate. He's going to be there for rounds. Jonas straight with the jaw onto S4. Gets the kill. No! Yes, he will finally. Finds the kill now. Stunned up Jonas trying to find my nuts. The procs aren't there though. He'll go down. It's a 3-for-1 so far. They did manage to kill Loda a second time. They'll also get my nuts. And NiP are striking back harder than Alliance did 2 minutes ago. 4 heroes down on the side of Alliance. They only lose the Legion commander. What a fight there for NiP. And I've got to say, it was all because of that beautiful snowball at the start, saving 2 of the heroes.
It was a great fight, but Arrow is such a low health, they cannot really capitalize it by taking any advantage. They're not going to Roche. They're not damaging the tier 3. I mean, this is why you have to max Edict Leshrac, but because Era got so low health, he was forced to TP back. And Owen, to answer your question, it looks like he is going for a BKB as well. He knows he's the kind of the person that's getting focused in these fights.
Oh, who's this one? Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Fiend.
And I think the Brood is also going to be going BKB.
Yeah.
The thing I like about NiP's draft, though, is like they can play 2 different styles. They can group up and push, as we saw. They can fight pretty well. But they also have a lot of pick-off potential with Legion Commander. The Yules coming up on Era as well. He can solo kill people pretty easily.
That is nice. And that is really nice as well against the Orchids, of course.
Exactly, yeah.
Wait, who's going for you?
Era's just finished it.
Lesh has got it finished.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep saying Era is playing on the Shadow.
That's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right, Lemmy. We
yeah.
forgive you. We forgive that. Look at this instant replay.
Oh, this technology right here.
Oh, whoa. So where does it all go wrong, Lou?
I mean, I think the fact that they threw everything at Limp and he got graved is where it went wrong. And then great initiation here from the LC. Like, just cut the entire Alliance team by half. And then, of course, you know, Wraith King respawns back and then he goes team, and then he dies, right? Like,
the fight that Alliance took so strongly mid was the one where they orchided the Dazzle, and in that team fight they didn't get that off. So the heals are constantly coming through on the Shallow Grave substitution. Also, not getting the Laguna Blade off.
Oh, can they get the stunner? Yes, they can. Where's the backup? Jonas and Fan gets the jewel off. S4 is very dead. Another jewel here for Jonas and Fans. 38 damage so far. It's not amazing, but it's not bad as well. 22 minutes in, I think he's going to be happy with that, especially in a game where the team as a whole has only found 7 kills.
That's the power of the Yules on Leshrac, by the way. Like, he got the pick off on what it was like no other hero could have done that on there except for Jonas.
Well, 2 fights in a row. Alliance is really on the ropes here. I don't think Queen of Pain has buyback.
No, she doesn't. This is a big move for NiP. They realize Pop's off the map. She's not going to be coming back. I think by now they were like, maybe we could force out a buyback, but as you said, Lumi, it's not available. So NiP are going to be very happy with this. They'll get themselves the Aegis onto Era. And I've got to be honest, this game is back and forth, back and forth. In fact, let's have a look at the graphs in the moment. What kind of a swing are we seeing? Well, it went down to about a 7.5k lead, and that was only about 18 minutes. It's now kind of being recovered. In terms of the XP, it went to 12,000, so we're already seeing quite a bit of a swing this early into a game. Yeah,
and the momentum of Aegis on Leshrac is just unparalleled. Like, he just walks up to your high ground and just start post-novaing and eating. Like, what do you actually do? You can't kill him because, well, he has 2 lives. And of course, there's a grave that you have to go through as well.
And they killed Loda twice. He's got to be careful.
Oh, that's a Yules nerf right there, man. Can you blink?
Oh, the courier as well. I think, okay, they'll give Mercy to the courier. Mercy to the courier. They'll look for Loda. They'll get the jewel off here. They'll kill him once. They've got to kill him again, though. And they're going to look for the record. Can he get it right? Yes, he can! Live with the perfect timing of the ultimate. He's been practicing that one.
I believe that was a wow moment.
That was
actually pretty skill intensive.
You've got to know the right timing. I think I remember watching Slash. It's something like when he picks up the sword or something. There's a certain bit of the animation that you know exactly that's when to pop the ult.
You can do an audio cue as well.
Yes, yeah. You can also, I think, look at the debuff from the slow. That's also a good way to do it. See how far it's around the square, and there's a certain point around that. I mean, yeah, limp. What a player.
Again, though, Alliance just pushing at these two mid and bottom lane, creating so much pressure.
They're going to get tier 2 out of this as well. And that's a big kill, knocking Loader off the map. And this is, you know, it's keeping Limp on top of the net worth, on top of the farm. BKB, 1,800 gold on top of that one as well.
Oh man, how do you stop this push?
And look at all this armor they've got from the Weave as well. Dazzle is just such a good hero when you've got this momentum 24 minutes in.
Well, Bulldog is not coming back. S4 is...
They're just going to trade.
I mean, they're not going to take...
But look how quick the tower's falling.
Yeah. I mean, what's stopping from NiP to go into mid-racks right after this?
Okay.
NiP are pushing a lot faster than these two down on the bottom for Alliance. This is going to be a set of racks going.
Alliance know they can't win the fight without the reincarnation from late king. It's too difficult.
And they're TPing back already because they're looking for fights. They're looking for more. Loader's got no reincarnate for 80 seconds. He's going to go down a second time. Does have buyback. We use straight away. Drawn to Ake. They'll get the bonus damage there. Another win here for the Legion Commander. There'll be a buyback as well from the Witch Doctor. Jonas and Fan TPing himself out. The rest of NiP retreating. Jonas and Fan actually went down for the defense. Bulldog's trying to fight this. He's got to be a little bit careful because backup's incoming. He's looking for the racks, but he won't quite be able to finish off the range racks.
Get the range racks.
It's going to be alright, 40 health, they'll get it with the next push, but it's not fantastic. Alliance almost certainly hoping for a little bit more there, and NiP just playing that last minute absolutely perfect.
Still have the Aegis, do you have 4,000 gold on your Shrek? Like, what do you...
I mean, you just group up, maybe push out bottom a little bit, and just go mid again,
yeah, you
right?
just push as 5, yeah. Like,
Spiderlings,
how's Dazzle doing? He went for the Glimmer Cape as well, so...
Oh, spiders! Alright. Got him.
A bit of money there in the back. And talking about money, Bulldog has got 2.5k. As you said, it looks like he's going for the BKB of the Ogre Club, so...
He needs it. He needs to fight
just a few
with the
hundred
team,
away from having the finishing off gold. And hello, my nuts, 250 gold away from a completed Aghanims if he wants to.
Here's the thing, like, BKB on Bulldog is a nice item for him, but it's not like he's killing anybody instantaneously, right? Like, you could BKB and run and hit somebody, but you don't have enough damage to 3 or 4 shot somebody.
Well, you can focus the Leshrac down. You can just...
He's got 2 lives. He's got Yules.
Yeah, he has 2 lives now, but he only has 1,000 HP. He should be getting Bloodstone or something. What's on the career?
Yeah, Bloodstone is, I imagine, the...
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so yeah, he's got the soul boost to complete, as you said, yeah.
Alright, so I think the key item is actually the eggs on Lina, because with that, you have an instant way to guarantee yourself a 4v5.
You still have the Shallow Grave, though.
Yeah, see, that's a thing, right?
I mean, 26 on a support Lina, that's pretty
pretty
darn
good.
impressive.
It's very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, you just hope that the Dazzle doesn't grave at 50% health,
Yes,
right? You just go.
Yeah.
They're going to go in with this creep wave bottom.
Let's try and see if they can get another set of racks on the bottom. Who's going to lead in here? Alliance, they're ready to fight. S4 doesn't have the Sonic Wave as of yet. Blinking from Loader. Straight over the stun. It's going to get removed here by the pressed attack from the Legion. They'll try and turn around onto Loader. Loader's got to back up, and now the duel onto S4. And he might just go down here. It's not going to have buyback down for a full minute. The Death Orb will get dropped, doing a fair bit onto Limp, but there's a lot of armor. Loader goes in with a Shallow Graves there. Limp turns around with the BKB, looks for Loader, will pop him once. He's got Reincarnate. He's going to grab it. Here's the O again! Limp with the perfect timing! Bulldog spot the BKB, but he's just got to run the shots, won't trap him. Minus has been set up here by the Yule Scepter. Jonas and Fan moving in. They get the slow as well. The poison touch. He tries to turn around Friday Dragon Slave with a stun from Eros there. Minus is going to go down as well. 3 dead on the side of Alliance. Snowball onto the Bulldog. They're looking for more. The shots trap him in. Bulldog's going to try and get himself back to base, but Jonas and blinks in. Gets the kill there with the overwhelming odds. It's 4 down on Alliance and NiP. Absolutely stepping it up now in these playoffs.
I think out of the 4 teams that we have seen in this European qualifier, NiP by far has the best team fight control and coordination between all 5 players. Everybody's just on point with their spell casting. Seal Kit with the Graves. We have the immediate press the attack when Limp got a Hellfire Blast. I mean, they played together for a long time now, and it shows in this game, right?
Yeah,
like
they were
one
of the only teams that didn't disband after TI4.
What a team. What a team, yeah. I think, as you said, I think, what was it, Vega and NiP? And both teams proving that this is a strength. Keeping with a stable roster, working past kind of the hard times of the team, and then you can play as well as this.
Yeah, GG.
Well played. And NiP did it. What a game.
That was sick.
28 minutes in, there were obviously points for Alliance that looked pretty good. The early laning stage looked great for Bulldog, but at the end of the day, NiP just grouped up and proved that they could play better as a team than Alliance could.
The use of the snowball in that mid-fight was actually game-changing in my opinion. Because at that stage, Alliance were winning the team fights, they were doing great.
Yeah.
Their Orchids were so powerful, and then all of a sudden, just amazing snowball from Hanskin. Era with the choice to go for the Yule Scepter, in my opinion, was really nice.
Any words, Lumi? Anything that stood out for you?
Well, we don't want to take any away from our analysts.
We don't want to take anything. Look, they look so excited to talk about
I mean,
things.
the 3 of them added up have 2 things to say, and if we say 1 each, then...
That's true.
Yeah, they're
They've
done,
just ruined
so.
that whole segment.
All right, we gotta send
That's
it back
been
to the
nice,
analysts. Well, actually, commercial first, right?
Oh, we're having a commercial?
Commercial.
Yeah, we'll have some
Just a little.
commercials, yeah. Apologies, chat. We'll have some commercials. We'll see you in a bit for the panel, though.